Peace and love, everyone. This is your girl, Krena Dean, and I am back with more information on the starseeds. This is my favorite topic. I'm just gonna say it's one of the topics that really transformed my understanding of the study of the stars to a different level than your typical astrologer does. In astrology, we study the personality, the makeup, the energies, the weather of your energy and vibration, and it's all connected. But when we study the starseeds, we start to understand our calling, in a sense. We start to understand the origins of the constellations that we come from. And I just have to say that I truly am a student, and I've just been navigating the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to understanding the makeup of a starseed. So what I do understand is that a starseed is here to expand, enlighten, and uplift the people around them. The starseed role is to work on their own spiritual healing, enlightenment, and as they shine brighter through this journey, they crystallize, they uplift others around them. So the goal of a starseed, of any level, is to shine as bright as you can. Now, this is like, okay, so what does that even mean? Like, what does it mean to shine as bright as I can? Now, everybody has different contracts with the cosmos. So the key in understanding how to shine your brightest is to learn your contract with the stars. And you can also do this work by understanding your name vibration. You can do this work by understanding the numbers in your life that are popping up around you through numerology. There are various spiritual tools, your own intuition, mediums, dreams. All of these spiritual tools are here to help provide you with the activation of your own starseed alignment. Okay, so the Messiah seed, or the concept of the Messiah, is connected to the being, the entity that we popularly know as Jesus Christ, or better known as Yeshua. And this entity came back and brought knowledge and uplifted the people. This entity had a warrior spirit. This entity crystallized the people. This entity understood the energetic wheels of the chakras and was able to relate to people depending on where it is that they vibrated within the strongest of the chakra wheels. So this idea of the Messiah is connected to the entity that we know as Yeshua. And on religious platforms, they typically look at Jesus Christ or Yeshua as one being. And they look at this concept of the Messiah, this one being returning. Where is that the starseed level changes the story on a very minute way, but a very profound way, is that the Messiah is not coming back as just one being. And this is why we have the Messiah starseeds, and we have had the Messiah starseeds. They have come back and crystallized and helped uplift the people, and they're returning back again because the one being is not as strong as various Messiah seeds spread out across the globe to crystallize and help uplift the people. So the Messiah seed is this consciousness, this Christ consciousness. The Messiah seed comes back with the mastery of the elements. Now, the one entity could master all elements. The one Messiah seed could master all elements. But if a Messiah seed was actually able to be spread out amongst various star seeds so that they all could master their own division of the elements, right? Air, water, fire, earth, and spirit. Then you could have a massive uplifting of the collective on the globe, a lot more potent than just one being. The Messiah seed is tied to the alchemy of the elements, and therefore the superheroes that we see in our TV screens, in our comic books, and in our movies, these are not fictional characters. That's what's so cool about the Messiah seed, is that these superheroes, these superpowers, are real entities. They are real beings living amongst us. And as you can see in the story of the superheroes, they all are working and mastering one element, right? Either air, fire, earth, water, or spirit. So the Messiah seed is a superhero. And this is serious business, guys. These are beings that are typically followed and restricted by the government. They have some sort of relationship to the government. Either they're working hand in hand with them, or the government is following them around. And this is because these beings are capable of unlimited power. And that's with their relationship to source energy. So as they gain mastery over self, as they gain mastery in their awakening, as they heal themselves and master their elemental choices, their elemental assignments, they become a being that has unlimited power, and therefore they're followed around. They are watched over like a microscope, and they're constantly being tracked by the powers of the elite. Some starseeds work hand in hand with the elite. Some Messiah seeds work hand in hand with the elite. Some do not, but are still followed by them. This is how serious this is, guys. So the star seed that is the Messiah seed is born with the Kundalini activated, pineal gland activated, and the third eye activated. So they have these abilities along with the elements that showcase their protection. They have to be protected in this human vessel as a Messiah seed. So they come with these intuitive powers as a child. They have these psychic abilities to track people who are typically deceiving inter. They are really able to channel the energies that are happening towards them, the emotions that are around them. They are empathetic, or as we know as empaths. These Messiah seeds are analytical in their thinking, so they ask a lot of questions as children. They process a lot of information as children and as adults. They can access information like a computer does, so their minds almost work like a computer. They can find the secrets of the universe because the source energy, the dark universe hidden secret, is actually within them. So through their dreams, through meditation, through the access of the Akashic records in their meditations, they can provide themselves with the information that they need, and they can process and consume a lot of information in one meditative state. Some Messiah seeds actually are just studiers, and they will study lots of information in a meditative state. Like they will watch lectures and consume all of this information all at once, or they will read and consume information all at once. So it's like even when they're learning, they go into this meditative state in which they can take in all of the information and decipher through it. This allows them to have a strong bullshit meter, so that as they navigate themselves through society, they can decode the lies that are being presented to them. So even like in the media, if they see something in the media that is completely off, they naturally will either have a decoding eyes to it, or they will not be emotionally moved by it because they understand that it's bullshit. they have a bullshit antenna basically that helps to protect them, because there's a lot of agents, there's a lot of forces working to keep them restricted. So with that being said, I'm going to go now into the astrological alignments of a typical Messiah seed. Speaking of the astrological alignments of the typical Messiah seed, what we need, or what I have discovered, is that I'm looking for generational planets. I'm looking for something that has to do with karma, with the idea of coming back. I also have to look at the ideas of restriction. What is it, the planet that represents restriction? What are the signs that represent this kind of restriction? What are the signs that represent helping humanity? So what I have found is that in typical Messiah seed charts, the ones that are born with their full levels activated, they will have a relationship of Jupiter and Saturn. And this is typically a conjunction, but it's not always. Sometimes the planets are not very close to each other, but they still are in a very strong relationship to one another. In astrology, they may be harmoniously aspected, but they also might be a challenge, like a square in opposition. Anything that has to do with Jupiter and Saturn, we're looking at a potential Messiah seed. This is why, because Saturn is the planet that rules restriction and government. So typically we're looking for Saturn to be on top of the potential of the starseed. Jupiter is a very important planet because Jupiter is the benevolent planet that has to do with believing in one's abilities and capabilities of creation. Jupiter is the planet that has to do with expansion. So when Saturn and Jupiter are together, this is gonna make the Messiah seed, or the entity that has this energy, really feel like they can accomplish anything. Jupiter is tied to biology, as I was saying. So Jupiter and Saturn are really important when I'm looking at an astrological alignment and studying a Messiah seed, because when these two energies work together, this being feels like they can do anything. And it's like the structure of Saturn is the realism that they have to face. So when you have Jupiter and Saturn together, you're typically looking at somebody who is a generational figure, who has this idea of karma, of coming back, and who works with chemistry, biology. So that is your typical alignment that I think can signify a Messiah seed. Another significator of a Messiah seed would also be Neptune and Saturn. This is because Jupiter and Neptune both rule over Pisces. So Neptune and Jupiter are both connected to the ethereal realms, Jupiter being of higher mentality, but Neptune being the ancestors. So if you have, so both Jupiter and Neptune rules over Pisces, and then Jupiter rules over Sagittarius. So if you find Neptune in a relationship with Saturn, specifically a conjunction, there too lies the significator of a Messiah seed. Another way of looking at it would be Jupiter in any of the Saturnian signs, right? So Jupiter being in Aquarius or Capricorn, that also would be a significator of Jupiter with the structure of government. Another one would be Saturn in the Jupiterian signs. So Saturn in Pisces, Saturn in Sagittarius, which is actually happening right now. Another significator of a Messiah seed. Now, Saturn and Sagittarius, those folks are actually going through their Saturn return right now. And this is completely related to this channel, right? There is an astrological reason why you are here, but you also have the power of sovereignty. So once you have mastered your alignments with the cosmos, your birthday alignments in the numerology, the symbology of your name, Once you have actually worked with these spiritual tools, you can then navigate through the levels of the starseeds. You're not boxed into one, not on the Cycle Breaker channel. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to be confined. We're here to see our utmost potential. So with that being said, a Messiah seed, right? Just like Yeshua and how he affected the people, just like how Obama and Beyonce and Muhammad Ali, these people are figures that have affected the people. They have come back to help uplift you to a Messiah level. If you are in the presence of these people, if you are affected by these people, you too could have the potential to uplift people in a messianic way. And like I said, the Messiah seeds are not just public figures. There are Messiah seeds all around you that have actually come back with these traits. And all they have to do is master their elements of their chart, and they too will become messianic. And even in the Messiah seed, there are levels to the Messiah seed. So there's level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there's like a percentage of you. Once you've mastered certain elements, you go from level 1 to level 2. Then once you've mastered a certain percentage of that level, you go from level 2 to level 3. Once you master the percentage of level 3, you go from level 3 to level 4. So they say that the level 4 of a Messiah seed would be someone who typically understands that they are a superhero. Once you reach level 4, you are capable of manipulating your entire reality through your mastery of the elements. But there are even levels above level 4. Even though level 4 is the key, level 4 is the door, there are levels above level 4 in which now you're tapping into the true nature of your immortality. Once you reach above level 5, level 6, you're going into the alpha and the omega of the energy of immortality. And this is actually very extensive for where it is that I am on my journey. Even for me to comprehend it and relay to you the message, but I'm at least relaying you the message that these ideas of the star seeds, of the Messiah seeds, they're not that far from you. Even if you don't have a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn or any sort of relationship that to me signifies a Messiah seed, where is your Jupiter? Where's your Saturn? How are you mastering your planets and your elements? Because all you need is mastery, and you're there, guys. You're there. Now, the key is understanding that this is about serving humanity, uplifting humanity. So it will be important to raise your intentions to help self, but also to help others. The Messiah seed knows they are protected, right? So you're no longer in defense. We're no longer in the need to defend ourselves as much as we are here to do the work. And this is what I want to bring to you today as I continue to discover and dive into the star seeds, is that our potential is right there. Our capabilities of breaking our structure is there. It's like we have to work with the structure, you have to work with the lessons of the karma, and then your utmost abilities are brought to you in the most beautiful form of sovereignty, and knowing that the universe can trust you to be the vessel that won't abuse it.